Hey everybody, welcome to PDQ Live. We're talking toast notifications this time, which my first takeaway, my initial gut reaction for toast notifications is it's a fancy message step.
Yes, we should really describe what they are.
All right, so overall we're talking about why would you use toast notifications over a message step, and each have their place depending on what works for you. Where with toast notifications you can include things like actionable items like links, or you could have it snooze and come out or send alarm noises. So it's a little bit more customizable than a message step. So if all you're looking to send is, hey, reboot your computer, which will be our first example, message step is fine. But if you're looking to add more weight to it or customization, toast notifications comes in as pretty valuable.
Can I just stop you real quick, though, and can I dumb it down for a sec? Are we just talking about the pop-ups on the right corner of our computer that pop up?
Absolutely.
Okay, it's just a fancy pop-up.
It doesn't have to pop up. You can set it to go straight to the tray where you got the little one here.
Okay.
And for a new notification, it will sit there forever until, you get those until you go and hit dismiss all and you never read them.
Okay.
You can do that.
All right, so when you first told me we were going to do this, my first question was, why?
And it's because it has some customization, and we'll go over the different options you can do past just sending a message.
Aside from the obvious, which is to torment my users, that's fun.
Which is very important.
And very important. Who doesn't like to mess with their users? But you're going to show us some actually interesting and useful things that we can do with this, right?
Yep. And the first part is going to be how you can make it work, because the message step is built into our products, toast notifications. We're using a module called BurntToast, made by Josh King.
Okay, and I want to talk about this because I did what you shouldn't do, right?
You did a deep dive into the base coding.
Which was awful.
There's a lot.
And I want those 2 hours of my life back.
Josh King has done all that for us.
Okay, so
we're just going to go with the easy.
Don't go out there and try to do this yourself. Let's make that point first of all. Because there's already a module.
The module is done. It's there. It's called BurntToast.
Because I went and watched a video thinking that you had to start from scratch, and I was sending you little updates going, Jordan, I'm 50 minutes in, and good God, he's made a text message with a banner, kill me now, right? So don't do that part.
No, don't do that. So we're going to include the module. The one thing since it is a PowerShell module, you have to make sure whoever you're sending the toast notification to has the module. So we're repurposing something from our scanner library and inventory, the repo. Where if you're using a module, these 10 lines here, it will you supply a module name. It'll see if it's installed. If it's not installed, it will make sure that your package provider, in this case we're using NuGet, is installed. And if not, installs it and then installs and imports the module. Okay,
and I'm going to ask the dumb question. So we keep everybody that is not as smart as you, which is like 99% of the world. You're in VS Code right now.
Yes.
Right, okay. Continue.
All right, VS Code. All right, so... But this part, we're going to use deploy for this one. So the first example we're going to use is the example I said where message step is fine. You need to reboot your computer.
Okay.
So we are going to include these 10 lines here because that's what makes sure the module exists.
And the module we're using is
BurntToast.
BurntToast, okay.
Top. And then we're going to do the first line here, perhaps. And that one. And that's going to be everything we need for our first example. So, new package.
So you copied those lines of code. Now we've opened deploy.
And I'm just going PowerShell step. So I copied the 10 lines and then the first line where I'm doing the notification. I'll break down what's into it in just a bit.
Okay.
But this one is reboot, please. And one thing with toast notifications is it is user-based. So in default, you want the login state to be only if the user is logged in.
Because it runs as logged in user.
Logged in user, yep. And you want to change run as logged in user.
Okay.
All right, so we have that. Now, one option you could do if you want to make sure you hit all the users, we have a pre-built collection here, which we did back in Guinness a long time ago, where basically any machine that has not rebooted in over 30 days, which is way too many for us, shows up in here. So you could run this collection or this package against this collection, and then everyone that's logged in that hasn't rebooted in 30 days, they'll get this pop-up.
Okay.
But let's give it a test, I suppose. That's not what I want to hit. I want to deploy it once. And we're just going to do local machine for now, but...
I have a question.
Okay.
Okay, I just realized this on the dry run. I've watched you do this a whole bunch of times, and maybe I'm not the only one that doesn't understand what you're doing. When you hit that little period, you're specifying that machine?
Yeah, local machine.
Oh my God. Okay, I really never knew that.
Yep, so right there we got the pop-up. It's been like 3 days since the last reboot. And then I did one called Snooze and Dismiss. And this is it just basically gives them customization. I'm not ready to reboot now. Come back to me in an hour. In an hour, that will pop back up.
So the user can dismiss it.
Dismiss it, and a dismissal will go away for good. Yeah, you can't. And to be honest, if they dismiss it too many times, you can either have that recurring or you can just reboot it for them.
And I can set that in deploy. So if I really want to bug them, I can just do a new one.
Yep, as often as the schedule. I think schedule can run every 15 minutes.
Okay, cool.
All right, so that one's kind of example. That's no better than a message step, in my opinion. It's the same thing that pops up. But there are things you can do. In this case, if you're installing some third-party application that is finicky and you want to make sure it's working, but you don't want to talk to the customer, this is where we're going to use it.
Okay.
So I'm going to come in here and grab these different 2 lines here. I guess we should go over what exactly that line did after we add it. It's just new BurntToast notification. There's the text we used. Snooze and dismiss is what gave them the option to remove it. And then we added the app logo of the Dapper Cat that was in there.
So I'm still using the same module, and I'm just going to do some different lines of code to do a different notification.
So this time it's going to be the same thing. We're still doing new BurntToast notification, but we're building it's called a button.
Okay.
Or if you do it different, it's an action item, and that will include the link you want to go to.
Okay.
And instead of rebuilding it all from scratch because I'm super lazy, I'm just going to come in and replace the one line. Am I on the wrong thing? Reboot, please. I built a new PowerShell step. Apparently I brought my A game. Remember in the pre-show when I said I overpoured? Well, here we are.
Here we are.
Hey, Jordan.
Yes.
I also want to shout out that there is a blog that covers some of this. If people wanted to see it in a different format, there's a nice little resource there that covers some kind of similar ways of using BurntToast.
See, that's our own Andrew
chat.
Self-promotion.
Yeah, because people are going to want to follow it step by step, I imagine. I know I would.
So the 10 lines that I put in there in the top, if you just go through and you deploy that module to every computer anyway, you don't have to worry about it. You know the module's there. Mm-hmm. In our case, where I don't know, it just goes in and it basically silently checks that it's there. And it removes an error point. We're going to deploy that. It's also worth pointing out we are using the 0.85 version of BurntToast. 1.0 is out there if you do the pre-release.
It's up.
Yep. All right, so everyone loves a good questionnaire. Tell me your secrets. We're going to click on that. And it goes to WinForms went there. So this is software we're not sure about. So this is where you can get user input without talking to them. They come in here, fill it out. No, it's not working. Have it. You can send it to create a ticket for you if you'd like.
Okay, I love that you went to all this work just to avoid talking to the end users. That's my favorite part about this.
That's the main reason I'm in IT.
Obviously. Okay, so this is useful. I can get information. I don't have to interact. Okay, I like this.
All right, so that one's there. The other one in this one's similar. We're using a lot of similar examples for now, but it's all a core concept that you can kind of build on.
Well, and Jordan, that's a flow. So I could actually I use Power Automate to take that flow and dump that information somewhere else too.
Yeah,
so I could build something else on top of that.
Absolutely.
Cool.
We're removing as much communication from the end user as we can because that's the dream.
Okay. That one's useful. I dig that. Okay.
Let's see. So the next one we're going to kind of cover is a knowledge base. Like there's some software comes out there. Say you're using PDQ deploy and inventory. Great products, intuitive, but there's a lot to it if you want to spend time. Mm-hmm. So we want to send them the getting started guide when they get the product.
Okay.
So you're going to come in here, and it's the same thing where we're doing a button again, just a different link. We're calling it Jordan's Knowledge because I'm a super genius.
Obviously. Mm-hmm.
He says, now watch me fail horribly. All right, and while I'm redoing this one, did we have any questions coming we can take a look at?
We do. Give me 1/2 second.
Well, I just want to remind everybody what Andrew said. There's a blog that you can follow at your own pace to do this because I know Jordan's making this look super easy. And
it is super easy.
It's not. Not everyone is as smart as you.
The top 10 lines aren't even mandatory if you know you have the module. So this is 1 or 2 lines of PowerShell. One's building up a button. The other one's creating the notification.
But I'll remind you, not everyone knows PowerShell like you two do. So some people like a nice little guide to follow. Because when I clicked on the knowledge stuff that you guys attached to this, it didn't even mean anything to me. That's why I watched that super painful video. So some people like the stuff.
Diving into the customized .NET libraries make it easier for you?
No, it was horrible. I hated it. I wanted to die, Jordan.
So, are we putting this in the bonus content? speaking of?
So a lot of the examples I'm using are similar to what Andrew has in his blog, which is in there. The 10 lines about making sure the modules there are already in the bonus. Well, not in the bonus content. They're in the scanner repo for the inventory scanners.
But if you know that you already have the module, you can go ahead and use those 2 lines at your pleasure, right?
Yep, that's it.
All right.
Yep.
We have
And
a
it's also
question.
good.
No, go ahead.
Sorry,
Andrew.
if you're going to get started, definitely recommend start on your local machine and get it started there before you think about like, oh, let's test this on a remote computer. And then once you're started walking on your local machine, then you can kind of go to the next step because it eliminates the barrier to entry a little bit.
Yeah, and I like what James said. My users can't find programs in their start menu. This is asking a lot. But, if you're like me, I'd like to find something that is fun to do in a product and get that comfortability level, right? That's how how I work. I find something about the product that is interesting to me that I can gain some confidence, and then it's easier to use.
Yes.
So, like pretty pictures, that makes it fun for me.
So I do have an example coming up sometime that if it doesn't get their attention and as a call to action, I will be stunned.
Yeah, he won't even show me, you guys. I don't even know what he's doing yet. It's that much of a surprise.
All right. Would you like a question?
Let's do it.
Okay. So will this install the module on remote systems? There will be no issue with the trusted prompt repo prompts?
So the dash force means if you haven't gone through it, because it is in the Microsoft gallery. If you haven't trusted the Microsoft gallery, you still get the error, but the dash force will bypass that part. And then the top 10 lines there is to make sure they have things like NuGet, which is the package provider where they can go and get the install done. So whether or not you have the trusted repo, running those 10 lines with the proper module name will install the module on a remote machine. We've tested it pretty thoroughly. It's a major part of quite a few of our pre-built scanners within inventory. It's I can't take credit for that. Colby Boma wrote that, and that guy is different level smart. And I have not seen it fail yet.
But I think you're exactly right, Jordan. If you have a custom environment, you have some custom repository set, you test it in your environment, it doesn't work, you might need to configure your repository or set it as trusted, or if you have an internal one, accommodate for that.
So I think by default, even the gallery is not trusted, and Force should bypass it.
Yeah, but maybe they have an extra internal repository configured that doesn't have this module available, and there can be weird issues with it. So definitely test it.
Okay. All right. So someone says problem with testing our own machine. We know the module's installed. I can remote into a different machine, and we can test the next one there. Let's go find one. Let's do Conrad. Where's my tools? Remote. So we'll test that one. I have not pushed this module anywhere in a test. It always has been on Guinness. So we'll find out if it works with the one we just built
Okay.
once it logs in. All right. Since the login's taking a bit,
we'll do it
we have
live,
another question?
seriously.
Does it take a while to log in?
Okay. We'll have another question. Why not? Will doing this still have deploys sit there waiting on that step, like a message step? Until the user clicks OK? Will it fail the deploy if it times out like the message? Elmo.
So we can send links to have the data captured, but the results of the toast doesn't have any results that we can see. So there's no way to have that interact. It's just a way to throw out a message and keep going. So either it ends or starts with a message, but it is a way to get the message out there. But once it sends it out, unless the actual sending of the toast notification fails, it's just going to keep going.
Yeah.
Well, apparently I ran that one again. All right, so we're going to go into deploy. We're going to send this against Conrad and see if it works for one that does not have it pre-installed.
Conrad. I'll do a little cheer for you.
All right. Deploy that now. We'll bring that up. We'll see if it goes.
Would you like another question in the meantime?
Yeah, but it looks like Marcel followed up on mine. You can write the message to the local drive and collect the information via inventory. But even then, as far as a timing issue, toast notification to me is more of just a message to throw up at the beginning and the end, but it's not going to impact any sort of timing. But yeah, if we can take another question, because I haven't run it remote yet.
All right, let's grab one more. Very simple question from Marcel. Can you toast connect?
So running as a logged on user, I do not think is available yet in Connect. I know they're working on it, but once that's
checked,
available,
it is.
It is available?
Yeah, I checked with our support team because I saw earlier that it was in mine, but I didn't know if I was on a slightly earlier preview build.
All right,
but
so
nope, it looks like.
All right, so
it's there.
logged on user is now in Connect. So yes, this would work with Connect. We need to figure out why it's not running. Oh, because it's installing the module. Probably it's going to take
good.
extra time.
Okay.
You hope it takes extra time. All right, so I guess while we're waiting for this to run,
I have another question if you want.
let's do it.
Okay. If this has to run as logged on user, that means we cannot use this in PDQ Connect yet, right? Well, we just kind of
That is a similar one.
All right, let's go to a new question. Oh, hold up. I got to fix this.
All right, what do we lose?
Get me off of there.
The toast is back.
How's it? Is it almost ready?
Well, it's running, so I may have been overly confident in it functioning, but we'll see.
Do you want to do your other example while that's going?
Go to another example.
Yeah.
All right, so
Don't you have one more?
as far as those ones, I do have a pre-built one that we can showcase.
Is it the surprise one?
It is.
I'm so excited.
You want to
Yes.
see that one?
Let's do that one.
All right, so it was a question you asked me yesterday is can you make it last longer? Because toast notifications by default run for 5 seconds. You're done. And the answer wasn't a simple just define the time. You can make it run longer, and there's a couple of ways you can do that. The first one is a registry key. I don't always recommend that, but it's current user, control panel, accessibility, and there's one that's like message duration in there. That is set to 5 seconds. You can change that to whatever, and the default time for all toast notifications will increase.
Okay.
I'm not a big fan of that. The other one is there are some settings you can use to run that will make them show up for longer.
Okay.
And so we're going to go in and run the longer toast time, and I'll break down what's in this one after. Everyone needs some of this in their life.
Yes.
All right, let's make sure that one does go. We're in the local. Here it is.
Yeah.
Here we are. I'm announcing the launch of my Only Sysadmin Fans page.
Consider me signed up.
Yeah, subscribe for new hot swappable hardware. So
Hardware.
Oh, that picture couldn't be any more perfect, Jordan.
all right, so I do have a call to action there.
He's sassy.
Do I want to click on this link? I don't know.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
And we can see. There's my video. So that one, if I hadn't clicked join, would have stayed.
Someone gave you a hard no.
That's fair.
Oh,
That is fair.
come on.
That one would have stayed up for 5 minutes.
That's not long enough.
5 minutes. So I'll go into exactly why it functions that
Oh
way.
my God.
$50 a month.
Jim, if you say so wrong, why does it feel so right?
Right.
Oh my. Okay, that actually does bring up a question though. First of all, though, that's genius. I love it. I don't even really know what OnlyFans is, but I'm going to join it right
Only
now.
sysadmin fans.
Oh, only sysadmin fans. Okay.
Different thing.
And by the way, yesterday Kelly had me convinced that he was on OnlyFans. Is that what it is? OnlyFans? Yeah. Anyway, so I'm so gullible. My God.
I can't confirm or deny.
So Jordan,
Yes.
is this a security concern though? Honestly, are the security people out there freaking out because your users are going to click on a link? Is it dangerous? Are we worried about this?
So if someone has the ability to send toast notification to your computer, there's already been a breach somewhere.
Okay.
But I would say if you're doing this, you are going to get an eyebrow raise from your security team, so I'd clear it with them first.
Okay.
But overall, to me, to send that requires a different level. They're already running code against a computer at that point to run it. So either they clicked on something malicious to get it to run, or someone malicious is already within your network.
Okay.
But I don't know. There might be our security person upstairs yelling at me right now.
She's
saying
watching
we're-
right now and you're in big trouble, buddy.
So, I mean, I'd talk to your security team first on that one if they feel it is. I don't believe it is, but that's me. But if we're going into now why this one lasts longer, first of all, I built this one different on purpose just to see that you can build it and construct an object.
Okay.
So in the first one, I'm just building the 2 text lines. You can't just create a variable that's a string. you have to do the new BT text because it creates a certain type of object that does work for that one. And that's where my 2 lines came from.
Okay.
Then over here is where I made the Dapper Cat as the logo. Mm-hmm. And then the hero image is the big image of me just looking fine. All right. And the next one is where I built the button for the YouTube link with the join now. And then I built an action from that button to put it in there. So this one is a bit more involved. There's a lot more steps. We're putting all together in a binding, making it visual. And in the last step here, duration long is the longest version it can be, and the scenario to incoming call is the longest version of that. So those 2 combined mean it will pop up for 5 minutes.
Okay, so all joking aside, I can see how this could be useful because if you can put a link in there, I could put a link to, say, a SharePoint site.
Yes.
So if I'm onboarding someone who does all their work on a SharePoint site and I wanted to send them the address and say, this is where you're going to live, here you go. It's a nice, easy way to do that. Yes, that could be useful.
I believe so.
Anything that's a link.
I think one of the cool
Okay.
One of the cool things this allows you to do is really be creative with what you do. You can kind of make it fit whatever use case you have. And to touch on Jordan's earlier point about security, you're going to probably want to determine if you want to make this part of your process in some way. If you're going to be sending it out to like your whole company, probably want to be aware of that. But
all right. So as we see, Conrad's still running. So I did run this remotely on a different lab where it worked. Mm-hmm. Apparently did something where it's not installing that module, so I am missing something in there.
But this environment is kind of old, and we had some issues, so there could be other things going on, right? Because you haven't been in Guinness for months and months.
It's been a while. Yeah, Guinness had been hard resetting on us without notice for some time, so we'd moved to a different machine, but that machine went down. But that shouldn't matter. I am still sending this against a Windows 10 machine. Mm-hmm. So the fact that it's stuck on there, it means it's somewhere within this module. It is not importing it.
Okay.
Which I missed out. So it makes that question was very valid because I've tested elsewhere and it did work, but it's something where, as clearly, it's not going to work every time. And we're not getting an error because there's nothing aired out. It's just not installing the module.
Yeah.
I wonder if maybe he was correct and the force isn't working.
So should we do a follow-up on that one?
I'm gonna take a look here and see what I've got. Make sure I do have it as force. BurntToast, error action stop. Yeah, so it didn't get... Well, it would have gotten that one because the force stop goes to the catch. The package provider should work, so the force should work. So I'm going to just go run this specifically on Conrad.
Okay.
And see if that works or if we're getting a pop-up. If that's the case, then it is something that we need to count for our environment, and it was a good catch by our viewers.
we have the best viewers, Jordan. I don't know if you know that.
It's true.
Well, the fact that I can't get into the search window without it locking tells me there might be a problem with Conrad.
That's probably not great. Oh, it's frozen.
Yeah, I'm gonna reboot Conrad and we'll try this again. It may just be an issue with the computer. All right, so while I'm doing a reboot, do we have any other questions that have come in?
We do, as a matter of fact.
Let's take those.
We block users from running PowerShell. No way around this, I would guess. Ed, L?
Yeah, so this one is using PowerShell. There's different ways to send toast notifications that aren't PowerShell, but it's going to be a lot more involved. Mm-hmm. But if you don't allow PowerShell, then toast notifications for sure won't work.
Next question.
All right.
Can you create forms with Toast? Marcel.
That is what we did. That was a form.
Well, we linked to a form in that one.
Oh, well, yeah, that's true. We linked one.
So this is actually one that I spent quite a bit of time with actions trying to make, where I built different buttons and like choose which one you think is best. You can set a default action, and I couldn't get it to function. And I finally ran get help on the command, and in parentheses says, this probably won't work with PowerShell. So WinForms or toast notifications on their own can handle WinForms. BurntToast has a limitation where that was not working that I ran into, and I didn't find a way around that yet. I might spend more time, figure if I can get it, because being able to have a form live is not a bad idea.
It was pretty easy to link to the form, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, linking to the form was very easy because it's just a URL. As long as the person has access to it, they should be good to go. But
I just gave access to anyone with the link. It took me like 5 seconds.
It is worth noting, when we first clicked on that, I did have to log in.
You did, yeah.
So, I mean, if you're looking for warning signs of what a breach may look like, clicking on a link you don't recognize and say log in with your credentials, there's some warning signs.
But to be clear, that was a different tenant. That might
Yes.
not be the case for everybody else. That was a cross-tenant permission issue. But anyway.
All right, now,
I think Jarrett brought up a good point in the chat of he likes the premise, but with his org, he's got some cybersecurity concerns, and that's totally fair. If it doesn't work for your org, there are still other use cases, whether that's just in your personal workflow of the scripts that you're running on your machine. You know, I know that I have some that take several minutes, and if I run a script that takes longer than 5 seconds, I get distracted and forget about it. And having a toast is a really great way to remind me to action the completed script.
yeah. So, and depending on the security focus, like I said, this is one I was actually talking to Josh about this. I don't believe I could send this to our production environment. I think that our security around it would block it.
Should we find out if Rachel notices or?
Well, I do need to get words out for my new site. Like, so depending on your security, there's a lot of factors. We're just kind of covering something that's an alternative that you can use. And if you are in security, it's a great way to test your users to see if they're paying attention to your trainings.
That's true.
All right. Yeah, I can't even. I am hopeful now that Conrad was just a problem with the computer itself, because even the reboot's taking some time here.
Conrad's angry.
That's the wrong password.
What's the real one?
I forget.
Just type it in plain text.
Please.
Please enter new credentials. Well, that's not good. Do I have caps lock on?
Yeah, James, I think is fun. I think let's all agree that toast notifications are for messing with our users, right?
The pranks are the best use. We're gonna go ahead and.
We're really prepping people to prank their coworkers, and I hope they do.
April
And
Fool's
they don't get fired.
is coming up, right?
Just
Think so.
so you know, Austin had geese running across my screen the other day. That was amazing. So I did enjoy it.
Love that.
I did love it quite a bit. Did Jordan already answer all the questions?
No, there are a couple more.
All right, I'm gonna just see if I can find a different computer, because I can't even log into that one now. All right, if we got other questions, let's take them while I'm trying this.
Okay. This one is from Doug K. He says, try this quick, running PowerShell as local admin and receiving unauthorized access exception. How do I fix this?
Just quick, running PowerShell as local admin, receiving. I have not seen that error. Do you have the rest of the error for that one? Let's try to quick running PowerShell as local admin. So I don't know if local admin can run it unless you're logged in as that local admin, because we did say that has to be as the logged on user. So if you're running as a local admin but you're not logged in as that, you might have an issue there. But without seeing the full error, I can't be sure. Man, our lab is messed up.
Yeah, it was kind of messed up yesterday, so that's probably just an exercise in futility at this point, Jordan. So maybe he needs to send a ticket to support on that one with the full error.
Yeah, for that one, I would see the full error. I would say if he's not logged in as local admin, we did specify it has to run as logged on user, so it should work as that. But if it's not, I'm not 100% on that. But I'd have to see the full error. All right, and I'm going to try one more machine. You know, I'm going to do Charles McGirl, see if I can get JJ to unmute and yell at me.
Perfect. Perfect. Our lab is messed up. That sounds like someone else's problem. Exactly, Jeff. That's what I was thinking too.
No, it's definitely our problem, but I didn't realize I wouldn't be able to find a single machine to log into.
No, actually, it was pretty messed up, Jeff. That's actually true. It was having a day yesterday.
Jordan broke it as fair. I had done a lot of stupid things to our lab over the years.
I think we've already made it clear that Jordan and I just do theoretical tech. Have we not made that clear? What are they not understanding here?
Yeah, I was looking through the things that I've done randomly that I've never gone through and undone.
Yeah.
The lab's broken because of me.
Okay,
What I did?
Yeah.
I couldn't pinpoint it. This is probably not one thing.
Okay, good.
We can always rebuild.
Yeah, that's right. I'm going to try that one. I'm going to try logging into one more machine. But I'm going to say my remote test hasn't failed because of the actual script yet.
Okay,
Because
I like it.
I can't get a functioning computer.
I'm on board with you. I like it.
We do have one more question.
All right, let's do that while we wait for that machine to log in.
Okay, this is from Elmo. He would like to ask if you can repeat where we get those 10 lines of code to ensure the module is installed.
Yep.
I know it was in the chat. Maybe post it back in the chat just so he has it.
Yeah, we're going to go to our GitHub, and it's going to be in here somewhere. What is it? Scanners, right?
That was a great movie.
Yeah, that was a great movie.
PDQ.com is the organization. But I can include a link to it.
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Oh, and real
yeah.
quick, Doug.
Yeah, Doug already answered it. Jordan.
Follow up on his question. He says, yes, you're correct. I was logged in as regular user, not local admin. Works after running it correctly.
Okay.
Weird.
Perfect. All right, so yeah, I've got it now. We're in GitHub for PowerShell scanners, and then I believe he has that one under, I don't want to say templates, in case I'm
Shared
wrong.
right above it.
Shared, okay. Shared, yeah, install and import module. That PS1 right there is one that Colby wrote. That does work, and I'm still not logged into that computer. I'm 0 for 3. All right. Despite me not having a functioning computer, I really want you guys to believe me that it will work remotely.
Well, I'm sure it will. But
So I'm going to open up a ticket with IT to maybe have our lab torn down and rebuilt at this point, because we struggled to find a computer we could log into to showcase this stuff.
Yeah, I think
coming
that would
into
be
the
wise.
week. So
And we have one final question, if
All
you
right.
guys are up for that. And it's really just for all of us. Do you still offer swag for asking questions during the webcast, Daniel M? We have not for the last several weeks, and here's a really odd reason why. The person that used to mail out the swag no longer works here. And so I've held off sending things out because I don't quite know yet who's going to be doing that. But we'll give some things out today. How about that?
Jim said, sure. Nice excuse, boss. Give the people their swag.
this is.
Hey, Brandon said he'll do it.
All right.
There we go.
I am fascinated. We knew we were having lab problems. I didn't realize I couldn't find a functioning computer.
But you got the point across. The toast notifications,
Yeah, the toast notifications
it
are there.
works.
I am confident that script will work remotely. You won't get an error on that one.
Mm-hmm.
I have done it on the different lab that we use sometimes, the whiskeytime.club,
Yeah.
and that worked.
I think Guinness is possessed. I'm just going to say.
I would attempt it locally, but, and this is true, my computer and my account are completely separated outside of the main domain. I think there's a wisdom in that decision.
I really hope Josh is watching, don't you?
Oh, I was giving him crap about it earlier.
Okay.
Marcel said he can come and rebuild our lab, but we have to wait 5 months. So
Let's write a list of stuff we want Marcel to do, should we?
I've been neglecting this for a lot longer than 5 months.
So it's finally come back to bite us in the butt.
It's been a long time coming. We've been patchwork throwing stuff together for a long time, keeping this thing running. It's just time to get a rebuild.
Perfect.
I'm going to try one more computer. If I don't even think.
Oh,
we have
you're
time.
not giving up, man. I like this. I like this side of you.
Tenacious.
I don't,
We do need an intern. Look. Oh my gosh. Yes.
A mailroom intern.
A mail, because, Jason was our intern.
So Ed, send a reboot to those machines. I did send a reboot to Conrad, and now it doesn't recognize the credentials, which are
Conrad, yeah.
domain credentials. All right, here we go. Pepe Le Pew is running.
All right. Let's do it.
I'm doing it.
Let's do it. Let's do it, Jordan.
Oh, wow, it's running? No way.
Okay, we'll rebuild this. Let's make Guinness Hatozaki now. Spell it.
Hatozaki is the proper name that we should be logging into. That's been my go-to.
Yeah.
We should do a webcast on rebuilding the lab. What do you think?
A webcast on rebuilding the lab?
Yeah.
Burn it to
Just
the
give them the
ground.
credentials?
Might as well put what we have to do anyway out there.
I mean, yeah.
You're like, all right, so that one still does work. There it is. Hey.
Yes, Jordan. I never doubted you. I never doubted you.
So if we get to learning, just so handsome.
So handsome.
Oh, thanks, Edge.
Stupid Edge.
Why doesn't anybody use me?
Beautiful. Beautiful,
Just let
beautiful.
me
I
exit
use
out.
Edge.
Oh, my goodness.
I use Edge actually, Jordan. I know this doesn't surprise you.
It isn't terrible.
It's not, but as we see, I can't even hit an exit on that one.
Yeah, we'll burn
It's not great starting out, I guess.
No. All right. So, anyways, that did lead to the getting started guide for our products. There's I think 19 videos. Mm-hmm. All right. Oh, someone said F11. Let's see.
Alt F4.
These are, I love that we're having these problems. These are good.
But to me, the important thing, let's see. I don't want to give you my information. I'm just going to continue on here. There we are. I just had to accept their 37 options.
There you go. There you go.
Yep.
I love the commentary. This is my favorite. I got some backseat driving. I really am enjoying it. Brandon is the worst backseat driver in the world. It's my favorite.
It does not want to go. All right, so I did. All right, so here we are. There's looks like 18 videos. I was wrong. Getting started. If you want to see some of the inner workings or I guess new options for PDQ deploy, those videos. And plus, just look at me. That was as extra fat. My beard was ungroomed. That's the ones you want to watch.
I've watched all those. I have.
Yep. All right. So I feel vindicated getting at the buzzer. Nailed it. So there we are. I think we all agreed. Toast notifications. It is something. It does add value if you customize it right, but there's a lot of hurdles to get there. You need your security on board. You need to make sure the environment works for you. And so there's a lot of customization. So if it's something where you see the extra value of sending a user to something like getting started for a certain software or
Documentation,
KB articles, I think there is something in there that's worth looking into. But if it doesn't fit for your environment, I completely understand. I couldn't run this on our production environment either.
Or more, don't forget, you don't want to talk to the users. That was the first
That's
point.
the main takeaway.
Yes.
That is the better than the message step at avoiding communication with people. All right. Thanks everyone for tuning in. I can't tell you how relieved I am that we got that to work at the buzzer. I was sure it would, but I'm glad. For PDQ, I'm Jordan.
I'm Tara.
Thanks for joining our webcast today. Congratulations to Daniel M. and Travis Me21, winners of PDQ swag. Send us your info to webcast@pdq.com. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and leave us your comments. We'd love to check those out as well. Have a fantastic week, and we'll see you back here next time.